Hey, what's up? Happy Wednesday. I have a guest, but I'm going to tell you who she is in a second. This is Actors Daily Bread. What's up? This is where I teach you how to crush your auditions, book more work, and live a life you love. I'm Christine Horn, professional working actress of 20 plus years and life and career coach for actors. And I have a friend here.
Yay.
This is Keena Ferguson. Say hi, Keena.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Keena, if you are in the Hollywood Bound Actors Facebook group, you've seen pictures of Keena and I. She is my accountability partner, and she's a working Hollywood actress. She's a choreographer. She's a dancer. She's a writer,
director,
producer,
creator.
all that. To all my replay watchers who will watch this later, what's up, replay watchers? Love you guys. So I hadn't had a guest in a while. I think my last guest, I don't even remember my last. It might have been CAINE. I don't remember. But if you're watching, make sure you give us some hearts, some thumbs up. Let us know that you are watching.
Yes.
So the reason why I'm here with Keena is because, and if you can't hear me, let me know too. Keena and I just finished working on something really awesome for our marketing. I'll announce it tomorrow.
Yes, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I'll announce it tomorrow. But yeah, we both had a day. Neither one of us had any auditions at the moment. So we met each other at 9 a.m. Well, 9-ish.
9-ish.
And got our stuff done. But we were wrapping up and started talking about the cost.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is the cost of being an actor, no matter where you are in the world. So I know a lot of you who watch me are some of you are in New York, LA, Atlanta, and talking about the cost of being in this business.
Yeah.
And every day is not roses and
It is not.
red carpets. And so I wanted to talk about that today. And just for those of you, I know I have so many of you in different levels of this. Some of you are just getting in.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you, see, because Keena coaches actors as well.
Yes.
So we're really in the same vein. What would you say? Would you think before? Also, if you have Netflix, IMDb, look up Keena Ferguson just so you have an idea of more of the stuff that she's done, because we both do film and TV, but just so you have an idea. And she's in the Hollywood Bound Actors Facebook group too. So if you're an actor who's not in the Hollywood Bound Actors Facebook group, join, because I'm going to do an exclusive training. Maybe tomorrow, if not tonight. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see how I feel tonight. But what would you think is the biggest? I'm gonna ask it twofold. The biggest misconception for new actors trying to get into this about what the cost is, and then once we actually get maybe to where we are, what do you think the next level of misconception might be?
So I think the first misconception is that it is going to be a sprint and not a marathon. That, you can come out here and you're like, yeah, look, I was able to get an agent. I was able to get an audition. I was able to get a job. And so, yeah, this actually isn't that big of a deal until you're in it for 5 and 10 years and 15 years, which I think that the biggest thing is that people assume that once you make it, quote, make it, book a show, do a commercial, that the rest is easy, and they forget about the down parts, that the quiet moments when there are no auditions, they forget about the moments where the money isn't flowing in.
Right.
And then I think but I think every level has its challenges, right? Because then there is a level where we are working a lot, but then we want to get to the Meryl Streep level. There's always the next level, right? And you could talk to them and they could say, gosh, there are still things that I haven't accomplished that I want to get to. And so I think the misconception with that even is just remembering that there's always another level.
Right. And I think that was, I'm guilty of that. I used to look before I ever booked my first TV role, and I know a lot of you. Hey, Connie, thank you for watching. That's my mother-in-law. Hi. Connie Rayford, the best Mary Kay rep out there.
Hey.
I used to, before my first TV role, I used to think, wow, if only I had a speaking role. And if you out there and if you're watching a replay, you can leave comments too, because I'm going to post this again later. Yeah. Have you ever felt that? Like, if I just get that first speaking role, oh my God, my life is going to change. I can quit my day job. I don't have to work that 9 to 5. That's not the case.
Nope.
Hey, Tanika, thank you for watching. Right? Another misconception I have was looking at people who are actually where I am now. So maybe I'm going to just say 10 years ago, even 5, I would look at actors in my level who are doing guest stars or, a ton of co-stars. Like, wow, they must be. I think the biggest misconception is that actors are rich, like out the gate.
Yes.
Like you saw an actor on
a show and you like, so you got dinner? You like, yeah. I mean, my joke is always, I tell people when they come to visit me, like, don't look for the Maserati and the Porsche, and don't be like, oh, so you got maids and valet. Like, that's not how it goes down. You know what I mean?
Just because you saw me on TV
does not
like, there's something called taxes.
Right.
There are things called bills.
And there's also the thing about, that people don't know about negotiating your contract and what's a day rate versus, you know what I mean? You get your weekly rate, all those different things that people aren't even thinking about. And your billing. Right. So, there's a lot of that.
Yeah. And that's actually for those of you who not worked with Kina or I as private coaches, that's stuff we work with our clients on to help people really understand how to reach your next goal. Because you may see us do a guest star or a co-star or a featured and you have no idea. I mean, not like it's your business, but you have no idea if it was a day rate. Sometimes I'll do a show and I only work the day. And sometimes I'm under contract for a week or 2 weeks, which drastically changes the pay, the billing, how featured I am, all of that. But, I was I'm going to give a shout out to Miyata Idoga, who's a teacher at the Actors Fund and with her own company, Abundance Bound. Shout out to you, Miyata.
She's great.
We were talking about the cost of this industry and whether you are a parent. I know Tanika, who's watching, manages her daughter, and there's a lot of my parents out there who are in my group who have kids. So whether you're the parent of an actor or you yourself are one, understanding that there's levels. Like, I lived in Atlanta for a long time and worked with no problem in Atlanta. Yeah. And had a comfortable house, and I had my dog in my front yard and lots of space, cheap
all that
rent.
Good stuff.
But my career wasn't where I wanted it to be. It was growing, but not where I wanted it to be. So I made the decision to move cross country and left everything behind and paid that cost. We're both married now. And so there are different things. I think, don't you think you navigate differently as a single person?
Oh, gosh, definitely. But I think what you said to your point, too, about, like, the house and having all these things, I think the thing that we have to also remember being out here is we're all the way on the West Coast. So my family's in the Midwest and the East Coast. So it's really, there are things that I have to miss sometimes because the flights are expensive or you don't have the time, whereas all of my family is kind of, where they can at least drive for a weekend. Right. So you're sacrificing time with family. You're sacrificing, even sometimes just time with my husband. It's pilot season. So I'm auditioning and I'm busy every night. So I want to be able to spend time with my husband, but I got to study, and it's not a complaint, but it is a sacrifice.
Right. And I think it is a cost. And I think I try to do this with my Actors Daily Bread to keep it real with y'all, but not enough people are sharing the real cost of things. Also, I think about, when you work a 9 to 5, you have, it's June, I take vacation, or it's Christmas, or it's whatever. It's things. And in this line of work, there's certain times of the year now you can do whatever you want to do. Let me be clear. Right. You can make any choice. But the running joke, we were just talking about it, the running joke is for actors is the book a flight.
And book a job.
Book a vacation, and then you will 99.9% have a conflict that comes up.
Or decide to do something else. Decide, actually, I'm just going to focus on writing right now. Or I'm just going to focus on creating my own content. And you will be booked and audition like crazy. And you're like, just when I made that decision.
Now, Kina also you have a film that just got the HBO.
Yes, I have a film that I wrote, directed, and starred in called Linden Passing that was nominated by HBO for Best Short Film.
Right. Speak to what it's like. What's the cost of being an actor trying to balance producing, directing, writing? How do you have to split that up? Because I know for those of you, I'm always talking to you guys about creating your own content and even, something to make you, put you in the power seat. So how do you balance that or speak to that?
It is, it's definitely not for the faint of heart, I'll say that, because acting takes so much out of you, but so does writing a great script. And then for me, starring in that script. So now I'm still doing my acting work. I'm still making sure the writing is right. And then I'm still directing, which is a whole thing. So for me, it's really about how do you divvy up your time. And how do you put all of your energy into making this project that you are creating that's going to become your baby? How do you take that time and really put that towards it and still be able to, I also do a lot of voiceover, so still be able to do my voiceover auditions and my acting auditions. And so for me, the biggest thing is remembering that my writing and my creating of content is my acting exercise as well.
Yeah,
so
I like that.
Because I like to do something for acting every day, creating my own content is what I use as my acting exercise every day while I'm working on a new project.
I love it. And see, what I love about Keena and I as accountability partners, we both have strengths. She'd be like, how you do that graphics? And well, how you edit that video? And then I'm like, well, how you produce that film? And
right.
you got distribution? So that's why I'm also, I don't know, I'm going to sound like a broken record today. You guys got to find accountability partners, no matter what level you are in this career. Hey, Tarnisha, thank you for watching. Tarnisha's one of my mastermind clients.
Okay.
So finding an accountability person who can help you stay on track, because life is going to happen.
Yes.
Life, sometimes, there are times, both of us be like, I didn't do nothing this week.
Right. Like, ooh.
And then it'd be like, then one of us would say, well, why? Keena be like, I'm quitting this week. Like, well, why are you? Why? I'll be like, I didn't do nothing. I was in the bed. Like, so, because that's just being real and honest and honoring the feelings you have in the moment. And the biggest thing I just want to express is that I'm not trying to make it seem like don't do this, because that is not what I'm saying.
But just be prepared for all the things that come with doing this job. It's not just getting to be on TV, getting to like go to the red carpets, getting to like see my face on TV or in the movies. Like, there's so much work that goes behind it that people don't see. And until you're in it, you don't know it. Now, it's not that you don't enjoy it, but it's just that you don't know it until you are in it.
Right.
And
thank you for the love, Tanisha.
Yes. And if you don't have the staying power, if you don't have use the word earlier, the mental capacity, the mental strength,
right.
And sometimes you have to be able to compartmentalize, for me being married, it's like, I don't want to come home from a day of like, these auditions and dump all that on my husband. I want to be able to have some good time with him. And whether that's your mother or whether that's with your friends or your family, right? You have to be able to compartmentalize a little bit.
Right. What else should we talk about? We've been talking about the cost.
The cost.
And there's so many
Well,
layers.
And also the financial cost, right?
Ooh.
Headshots, acting classes, all these marketing, all these things that you have to put your money for, coaching on all these things.
And your family be looking at you like, what are you spending money on again? Or your or your spouse
you made it
or
again?
your boyfriend.
I thought you just spent that money. Right.
Have you made it yet?
Right. Why haven't you made it yet?
Tarnisha says yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I know Tarnisha knows she's married with kids.
And so you know for sure.
Yes.
Yes. That financial cost is huge. And sometimes, and there's a lot of sacrifices with that. Sometimes you want to be, I want to go take this trip, or I want to be able to go. Yes. Investment. Yes. Sometimes you're like, I want to go with my other friends or my other people who have these 9-to-5 jobs who can afford to take these lavish vacations in the middle of the week, and I may get an audition.
Right.
Or whatever that is. Or, my commercial didn't run this month. I was planning on that $30,000.
Right.
But my commercial stopped.
Right.
And now I'm out of work. Again.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting. And it definitely, from being in different, we both work out of Atlanta. We both work out of LA. I worked out of New York. And I know and some of you are in Texas. Some of you are in Baltimore, DC, and are deciding which way to go. And I'm going to be honest, too. This is something, the conversation, again, I was having with Miyata Idoga. She was talking about, we sometimes only want to acknowledge the good part, which is seeing ourselves on TV or on stage or cashing those big checks and doing red carpets, but actually accepting the cost of the decisions that we make and taking responsibility for the outcome that comes with the choices that we make. So let me explain. If you know you have this desire, and I know I talk to a lot of you, so I'm not picking on any one of you out there. I'm talking to all of us. But if you choose to live in a state or town that cannot help you elevate to the next level, that is now your choice. And I'm not saying there are other factors not involved, jobs and security and family. Of course. I get all of that. I'm not saying everybody should get up and move. Right. What I am saying is that is the cost that is the price you're paying to not have the career that you want the way you want it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
we're
not
all in control of that.
Right. Not trying to be hurtful. It's like we were talking about, neither one of us have kids yet. And there have been choices, costs, like, okay, well, I haven't settled down to do this, or it hasn't happened yet because X, Y, and Z. There are all kinds of things. And so sometimes we tend as human beings to look at, we're human, so we look at other people's lives and like, oh, she has it all. And I have friends who are actors who had the kids in the marriage first and now are getting into the career late, and they feel like, I'm so behind.
I know.
Because they made a decision, they made the choice to do that way.
Right. And
so that's another reason why we cannot judge anyone else's journey. Remember that your journey is your own journey.
That for me is the biggest cost and the biggest lesson ever, is that your journey is your own. This business is a business that kind of puts people against each other, and not necessarily negatively, but it puts you against to look at what other people are doing, to see what their trajectory is, and to use that as a measuring stick for your own.
Right.
And so it's really easy to say, this person's doing this and they've only been out here 5 and I've been out here 10, so something's wrong with me, or something I need to be doing. And if we can remember that, I always like to think back to a pastor that said this a long time ago, we don't know what that person has been through in the rest of their life, because if you want to be where they are, you have to take every single thing that they've had in their life and be that as well. So,
and we don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that because you don't know. You just don't know. So maybe it may take you 10 or 15 or 20 years, but you may have also had your health and your family or whatever else may be the case.
Right, there are different costs that we don't know about.
We just don't know.
We see it all the time. I never forget, I think about Jennifer Hudson when she, as soon as, things were getting huge, and then those murders happened in her family, and it was just pushing through that. Hey, Vernica Rowe, she's going to be on Black Lightning. Is that tonight? Or was that yesterday, Vernica? So much talent out there. We're just talking about what the cost is. And definitely, at the end of the day, she says, yes, ladies. I'm here with Keena Ferguson, fabulous actress and my accountability buddy. We've been here putting in work all morning. It came on yesterday. I'm gonna cast the replay, Vernica.
Me too.
So happy that Black Lightning is happening in Atlanta, and so many beautiful brown people are getting work.
Yes.
But in closing, we're gonna let you go, and I will replay this later. Just remember to stay true to your journey. And remember also that everything has a cost, and I just don't mean that in a negative way. It's good. There are good costs and bad costs, but we have to honor what those are. Take responsibility for the choices we make. We all make choices. I was just telling Keena, we have a 1-bedroom apartment. I left my house in Atlanta that had 3 bedrooms and a front backyard and 2 bathrooms, 2-car garage, and I did it because I made that choice. And as far as the whole thing about looking at other people's lives and what did they have, I'm going to quote Bob Proctor on this. He does a lot of mind work. I want you to keep into your mind and remember that we live in an abundant world. What is yours is yours. No one can take it, right? So your gig is your gig. No one can take that. I had an audition yesterday. I didn't think that was my gig. I think that was someone else's. But just if you remember that the world, this industry is abundant. So the role for you is the role for you. So this quote is what Bob Proctor says, and it hit me. So I'm going to back up. I want you to do, this is the example he gave. In this moment, whenever you watch this video, I want you to take a deep breath. So take a deep breath. And hold that deep breath. All right, you took that breath, right? Now you can let it go. Now you took breath from the world. Because the world is abundant, you took breath, and it didn't take any less breath from me, right? There was still plenty of breath left over for me. So she can breathe, I can breathe. We can all take deep breath. So from abundance, I took abundance, and still abundance remains. Isn't that good?
Come on, Bob.
I'll say it again. From abundance, you take abundance, and still abundance remains. So that means my gigs, yes, you may not get the same gig I get, but there's a gig that is only for you.
Yep.
And no one else can take that because it's yours. And so whether it comes down to money, health, you know, clothes, what kind of car you drive, no matter where you are, just remember that we are in an abundant place,
Yes.
and your journey is yours alone.
It sure is. It sure is.
Yes.
And you got to walk your path.
Walk your path. So that is our Actors Daily Breath for you with Keena Ferguson. You can go to KeenaFerguson.com.
Yep.
I'll put all the stuff in the link. I'm going to get home because we're about to leave here. We have some work to finish, and then I'm going to repost this video later because I know I posted at a random time. A lot of you are still at work, but I didn't want to miss this chance because we're not always in the same room. We talk every week, but we're not always in the same room every week. So we love you guys. Have an amazing day.
Thank you guys so
Stay
much for
encouraged.
letting me be a visitor.
Yes. See you later. Bye.